Hi, my name is Nelia. I'm currently in Massachusetts, and I wanted to start videos because of everything that's going on today. And sometimes access to certain areas or traveling becomes a problem. So I thought the best way to get my information out would be through video, or for anybody that would want to post comments or um, spread information to get it out there to people. So, meaning I welcome anyone. I don't. This isn't. This is for public access. Anybody has the right to comment, and I welcome any positive or negative feedback on whether people agree with me or not. And this is also a place to share information, so people know that there's a lot going on in the world, and it's hard to get real truth, real information, because there's a lot of people out there that are disrupting that, making sure or causing things in order to prevent that from occurring. So nobody is really alone. We are scattered, is what I believe, and they did that purposely. So first, I'm going to talk about the system. So the information from Noam Chomsky, if you look up his videos, you'll be able to see that he discusses a lot of things, especially something important that's not being discussed out in the world, and that is what's going on and how these false governments are using media, using racism and all the attacks, COVID-19, and all these things as propaganda in order to stop you from knowing what they're doing, while everybody is focused on these problems. So I believe I agree with it. I agree that even though this is good, fighting for your freedoms, I also believe that these people behind closed doors are using it as a way to usher in whatever it is they're trying to usher in without the consent of the people. That being said, I wanted to bring some things to the forefront that a lot of people today are not discussing, maybe because of fear, or they're just not paying attention to it, because right now people are being forced out of their jobs. And once again, this is my personal opinion, that this was already approved of, meaning I believe that these false governments initiated this because they wanted this to happen. They wanted corporations such as hospitals and things like that to issue the mandate, because they knew that people would automatically fight for their freedoms. So this is something that they wanted. This is something that they initiated. They knew very well that people would be out there fighting for freedoms. So people have to understand that it is propaganda that they're using in order to usher in behind the scenes things that people aren't aware of until after it's been done. And usually, according to what Noam Chomsky is, it's ushering in laws that nobody's aware of, nobody's approving, or going into other countries and assassinating people, or doing things like that. As again, Noam Chomsky discusses that they're doing this around the world while the propaganda is going on. So we have to understand that some people are being paid to also agree to the propaganda in order to produce it and get people to keep focused on it. And also, there are innocent people that are actually out there fighting their freedoms. So nobody's going to admit anything, but if you listen very carefully to Noam Chomsky's videos, you'll be able to see that that's in fact what's going on. Also, I would recommend that people look up the 17th, 18th century, and decide for yourselves whether you believe you're repeating the 17th, 18th century. Noam Chomsky also mentioned this, and I looked up the 17th, 18th century, and it almost looks like we are mimicking the identical 18th century. Either they're copying it, we're smack in the middle of the 18th century. This is British ruling during the 18th century. The American and French war that occurred, which led up to the freeing from British ruling. And that's what seems to be going on. If you look up Black's Law Dictionary and you look up a lot of writing, it seems to indicate this is some sort of British ruling that's going on here. And also, there's a lot of other stuff that indicate some sort of movement in that area. So let me go back quickly. If you look up Noam Chomsky, these things will seem to make a lot of sense. And again, I'm also looking for information as well. So I welcome negative and positive as long as we are in the form of communication. At some point that will come to an end. But for right now, it's important because there are many people out there stranded, going through things, and these false satanic systems are set up to attack these people in order to get them to bow, to agree to become slaves, to give up their rights, and they feel like there's nowhere to go. So we have to remember this. These are things that have to get out to people, and as you can see, they're already telling you can't get on a bus, can't get on a train, you got to wear a mask, you can't go here, you can't drive there, you need registration, you need plates, you need this, you need that, all in a sense as if to say that they're stopping you from trying to get out and travel, meaning isolating people, so people feel like they're alone. They're not going to have food. They're not going to be able to survive. And that could force someone to make decisions irrationally, not thinking clearly about it. So when people are under attack, it is a natural thought to react in that manner, to get very nervous, very concerned about how am I going to feed my children? And things like that. So people have to be very careful, and this was what this is about, getting truth out there to people and letting them know that they're not alone. I wouldn't recommend violently doing anything. I wouldn't recommend making any irrational decisions. Connect with people you can trust, people who are also experiencing the same thing. Keep some form of connection. Look for places where you could come together and become a powerful source, as Noam Chomsky talks about, which is true. You cannot survive and fight a satanic ruling all by yourself. They've got people in the European countries. There's a lot of European people who have also made movies, made videos, that have come against these people who refuse to identify themselves, and they're sitting in seats of authority making decisions which are false. So these are false individuals working for false satanic systems already in place. I want people to remember that in the 45 and 50, they implemented this system. They ushered in this system while people were sleeping. And now they've been slowly trying to remove this information so people wouldn't know. So if you think about your job and you think how you're locked for 8 hours a day working in a slavery system, you can start to see how they're quickly coming to control you, in order for you to have less and less access of information. So once again, I am open to debate anybody, or have communications or talk to people that really want to share true information, not attackers, false information. But I also accept that this is an open forum, and people who don't exactly believe or who are still sleeping will be forced to form attacks and make false comments about things. But I welcome it as well. It's an open forum for all people to talk about what's going on around them and what's happening to them. And that's what this is about. So the next thing I want to talk about is that people are not really discussing, which people really need to do, and that is God, Lucifer, and the fallen angels that came down. They are part of this satanic involvement. And people have to accept that that's reality. You don't have to take it from me, but you can certainly do the research yourself. Check your Bible, check your history information. Even Noam Chomsky talks a little bit about God, talks a little bit about this satanic false government that's going on that they implemented. You could clearly go out there and search, and there are many people agreeing to it that it is in fact so. So we have to come to some sort of understanding and agreement that this is what we're dealing with. False systems set up, and they're trying to implement their own laws, false laws, and they want you to free willingly accept them. So I'm gonna cut this video short, and I'm gonna cut this video as it is right now. And I will come back with some more additional information, and I'm hoping that people will see it, and they'll be able to identify who they are, where they're located, and perhaps we could form some sort of area. We could start building something where people don't have to feel like they're stranded and alone, and that there are others awakened, and are aware of what's going on in the world. Thank you.